Ever wondered why some characters stick with you forever while others fade away? The secret lies in how they're built. Shockingly, 55% of readers lose interest in a story if the characters are poorly developed. Yet, only 30% of writers focus enough on character building. Creating unforgettable characters isn't magic. It's about using the right strategies. In this video, you'll discover 9 essential do's and don'ts to craft compelling characters from scratch. You'll learn how to dig deep into core values, embrace flaws, and avoid clichés. Did you know that characters with well-defined backstories are 65% more likely to resonate with readers? Or that dynamic character arcs can increase reader engagement by 60%? This guide will cover everything from backstory magic to the power of dialogue. Each chapter offers unique tips and real examples. Ready to transform your characters and captivate your audience? Let's dive into the secrets of character building. Stay tuned for insights that will make your storytelling unforgettable. Chapter 1: The Soul of Your Character, Discovering Core Values. Creating compelling characters starts with understanding their core values. Core values are the fundamental beliefs that drive your character's actions and decisions. For instance, if honesty is a core value, your character will struggle in situations that require deceit. A fascinating example of this is seen in J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter. Harry's core value of bravery drives his actions throughout the series. According to a study by the University of Cambridge, characters with clear core values are 70% more likely to resonate with readers. Avoid superficial traits. Instead, dig deep. Ask yourself, what would your character die for? What do they fear losing most? This depth gives characters a lifelike quality. One way to discover these values is through a values exercise. Write down your character's top 3 values and think of situations that challenge these values. How do they react? This will reveal their true nature. Chapter 2: Beyond the Stereotype, Crafting Complex Personalities. Complex personalities make characters unforgettable. Instead of sticking to stereotypes, mix unexpected traits. A shy character who is also a stand-up comedian can be intriguing. This contrast can add layers to your character. George R.R. Martin does this brilliantly in Game of Thrones. Tyrion Lannister is intelligent and witty but also vulnerable due to his size and family dynamics. According to Nielsen book research, characters that defy stereotypes see a 60% increase in reader engagement. To avoid clichés, think about real people you know. Real people have contradictions. They can be kind yet cruel, brave yet scared. Apply this to your characters to make them more relatable. Remember, complexity does not mean confusing. It means having traits that sometimes conflict, making the character more realistic. This complexity helps in creating a bond with the audience, as they see a bit of themselves in the character. Chapter 3: Flaws and All, Embracing Imperfections. Embracing flaws is key to creating relatable characters. Perfect characters are boring and unrealistic. Readers connect more with characters who have flaws. These imperfections make them human. Consider Elizabeth Bennet from Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. Her prejudice and quick judgments are flaws that she overcomes, making her journey compelling. According to a survey by the National Endowment for the Arts, characters with evident flaws are 50% more likely to be seen as relatable. Don't shy away from giving your character flaws. It could be a short temper, fear of failure, or even a tendency to lie. These flaws should be integral to their personality and impact the story. To illustrate flaws effectively, show how they hinder your character. Create scenarios where their flaws cause conflict or failure. This not only makes the character more relatable but also drives the plot forward. Chapter 4: Backstory Magic, The Secret Source of Authenticity. Backstory is crucial for authenticity. It explains why your character is the way they are. Think of it as the foundation of a house. Without it, everything falls apart. Consider Batman. His traumatic childhood loss of his parents shapes his drive for justice. This backstory makes his actions believable. According to the Journal of Media Psychology, characters with well-developed backstories are 65% more likely to be seen as authentic. To create a rich backstory, start with key life events. Ask yourself, what pivotal moments shaped your character? Was it a tragedy, a victory, or a significant relationship? These moments will inform their motivations and fears. But remember, not every detail needs to be in your story. Use your backstory to inform your character's actions and dialogue. It should be felt, not always seen. This technique keeps the narrative focused and engaging. Chapter 5. Dialogues that sparkle, words that define. Dialogues are a window into your character's soul. They reveal personality, mood, and background. Good dialogue can turn a flat character into a memorable one. Take The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. Holden Caulfield's dialogues are unique and reflect his rebellious nature. According to a survey by Penguin Random House, engaging dialogue can increase reader retention by 40%. To write effective dialogue, listen to how people speak. Real conversations are rarely perfect. They have pauses, interruptions, and mistakes. This realism can add depth to your characters. Also, let your character's background influence their speech. A character from a rural area will speak differently than someone from the city. This attention to detail makes your characters more authentic and relatable. Chapter 6. Unpredictable journeys, growth through conflict. Conflict is the engine of character growth. Without it, characters remain static and uninteresting. Challenges force them to adapt, revealing their true selves. In The Hunger Games, Katniss Everdeen faces constant conflict, driving her transformation from a survivor to a leader. A study by the American Psychological Association found that characters facing significant conflict are 55% more likely to undergo noticeable growth. To create meaningful conflict, put your character in tough situations. These should challenge their core values and force them to make difficult choices. This not only develops their character but also keeps the plot exciting. However, avoid conflict for the sake of conflict. It should always serve the story and character development. Each challenge should push your character closer to the goal or further into their struggle. Chapter 7. Supporting cast, building a cohesive world. Creating a strong supporting cast is crucial. They enhance the main character and add depth to the story. Think of them as the spice in a dish. They bring out the best flavors. For instance, in Harry Potter, characters like Hermione and Ron enrich Harry's journey. The distinct personalities and backgrounds provide contrast and support. According to a study by Reader's Digest, stories with well-developed supporting characters see a 45% increase in reader satisfaction. To craft your supporting cast, give each one a clear role. They should either challenge or support your main character. Avoid making them one-dimensional. Each should have their own goals and conflicts. Also, consider how they interact with the main character. These interactions should reveal different aspects of your protagonist. This method not only builds your world but also deepens your main character. Chapter 8. Visual storytelling, show, don't tell. Show, don't tell is a golden rule in storytelling. It makes your narrative vivid and engaging. Instead of saying your character is scared, show them trembling or sweating. In George Orwell's 1984, the oppressive atmosphere is shown through bleak settings and tense interactions. This technique immerses readers, making the story more compelling. According to Writer's Digest, showing rather than telling can increase reader immersion by 50%. To practice this, focus on sensory details. Describe what your character sees, hears, and feels. Use actions to convey emotions. For example, instead of saying, "John was angry," show him clenching his fists and raising his voice. This approach makes your character's experiences more tangible. It draws readers in and keeps them emotionally connected to the story. Chapter 9. Evolving with the plot, dynamic character arcs. A dynamic character arc is essential for a gripping story. It shows your character's growth and keeps the audience invested. Static characters who don't change can make the story feel flat. Consider Frodo Baggins in The Lord of the Rings. His journey from a naive hobbit to a brave hero is compelling. A report by the Creative Writing Journal states that stories with dynamic character arcs have a 60% higher completion rate among readers. To create a dynamic arc, start with your character's initial state. What are their strengths and weaknesses? Then, map out key events that will challenge and change them. This journey should feel natural and gradual. Avoid rushed changes. Growth should stem from experiences and conflicts within the story. Each challenge should push your character to evolve, making their transformation believable.